For more than 2,000 years, two ancient civilizations, ancient Greece and ancient Rome, has influenced today's modern ideas, both sharing similar ideas as they age.
These ideas being Greek and Roman literature, their philosophy, and architecture, which are used and even seen still in today's society. But have you ever wondered which civilization is better?
To start off, ancient Greece is located in the southeast of Europe, which is Greece, the same area where modern-day Greece is today. Ancient Greece literature was very interesting, representing its daily society and many battles, including Greek mythology within them. Greek literature were written by many writers in different eras. Some great examples can be Homer or Sophocles, both famous writers during ancient Greek times. However, I'm not going to be focusing on their literature, but on Argonautica, an epic poem written by Apollonius Rhodius. Now, let me summarize a few parts on Argonautica. The story starts off with Jason, a Greek hero and the leader of the Argonauts, a mission sent by Hercules to voyage and retrieve the golden fleece of Colchis. Jason and his crew land on many different islands, such as an island only populated with women, even accidentally killing a king in one of them, encountering a tribe known as Bebrycians, receiving guidance from a blind seer for rescuing him from harpies, and to a passage that smashed ships with rocks if any tried to pass through. After all these events, Jason and his crew finally reaches Colchis. Jason meets a powerful sorceress, the daughter of the king, Medea, who falls in love with Jason and helps him get the golden fleece through many scenarios. However, Jason abandons Medea after retrieving the golden fleece, leading to Medea's rage, killing Jason's wife and children. Now let's compare this to Rome's literature, located in Italy. While Argonautica was written in the 3rd century BCE, the Aeneid, written by Virgil, was composed between 29 to 19 BCE. Now I'm going to summarize the Aeneid.
The story takes place during the fall of Troy, marking the end of the Trojan War, but the rise of Rome.
The main character, Aeneas, escapes the invasion of Troy, traveling to Italy to find a new civilization, Rome. Aeneas arrives at Carthage, given hospitality by their queen, Dido, who eventually falls in love with him. However, being a distraction to Aeneas, he leaves Dido, due to the gods telling him to focus on finding Italy. Dido is heartbroken and enraged, plotting to kill Aeneas and destroy his ship. However, she instead burns any memories of Aeneas and then commits suicide.
A very obvious comparison is seen between these two epic poems.
We notice that both stories involve similar missions,
But not the missions that they were given, but how they progressed that mission. Both embarking on a journey and meeting two powerful women that fall in love with them.
however, they are soon abandoned, which leads both of them to become enraged, one committing murder while the other one commits suicide.
Both literatures share the same idea. Greek literature introducing this idea, and the Romans influenced by this idea. This concludes that ancient Greece was greater than ancient Rome through literature. It's now time to compare whose architecture is better. For architecture, we will be focusing on ancient Greece and ancient Rome's aqueducts. Let's start with ancient Greece's aqueducts. Ancient Greece had many aqueducts. Their most known one is being the Tunnel of Eupalinos. It is 3,000 feet long and 6 feet in diameter. It was also built by the enslaved people. The tunnel was made through a mountain and had a U-turn in the middle to compensate for the lack of precision as it was dug out from both sides. And to end off, the aqueduct was built with using hammers and chisels by drilling through the rocks in the mountains. Now let's compare this to ancient Rome's aqueducts. Now, ancient Rome's aqueducts were far more advanced than ancient Greece's aqueducts. Let me explain why using Pont du Gard, one of their most known aqueducts. Compared to a tunnel aqueduct in ancient Greece, this aqueduct is a bridge made up of limestone bricks that were cut and lined up. The pont du Gard required many steps to build, using arches, wooden scaffolding, and using cranes and pulleys to lift the stones and place it in each positioning. Compared to ancient Greece, we see a far greater architect in their aqueducts of ancient Rome, concluding that ancient Rome's architecture is far greater than ancient Greece. It's now time to introduce you to ancient Greece and ancient Rome's government. Let's start off with ancient Greece's government, a government evolving from monarchy to tyranny and then to democracy. Their democracy allowed all men to be politically equal, excluding slaves and women. Their government was pretty organized, separated into 3 different branches, the Boule, the Ecclesia, and the Archons. However, the different powers that these branches held were not equal at all, easily leading to abuse of power and corruption in the government. Now let's compare ancient Greece's government to ancient Rome. Unlike ancient Greece, ancient Rome has started off as a democracy, then turning into an empire. Here are a few examples of different emperors during ancient Rome's empire. Augustus Caesar is the Roman Empire's first emperor, influencing Rome through many useful architecture and allowing trade to flourish through the Pax Romana, which held peace. Here is Nero, ancient Rome's most corrupt emperor. His goal was to gain absolute power in ancient Rome, eliminating any threats in his way. He was later declared an enemy of the state due to his many actions, specifically involving the Great Fire of Rome, his rule ending as he commits suicide. As many emperors rise one after another, corruption was always being seen through the emperors. However, this corruption wasn't only seen through ancient Rome, but also in ancient Greece. This made it easier to invade both ancient Rome and Greece. Because of this situation, both ancient Rome and ancient Greece would tie on government. Now it's time to talk about philosophy, starting with ancient Greece. Let me introduce you to how philosophy even started at first. Philosophy rose as the ancient Greeks started to trade. Many different ideas were being shared throughout different countries. This easily led to doubt in the ancient Greek religion. The start of philosophy was the pre-Socratic era, an era of natural philosophers who believed different elements made up the universe. Some examples of these philosophers can be Thales, believing everything was water, Heraclitus, who believed it was fire, and Anaximenes, who believed it was air. Following this era was the classical era. New and more known philosophers rise, such as Socrates, focusing on the virtues of life. His method was to question everything. Plato, who thought about the forms of the world, and Aristotle, focusing on logic and science while seeking for the purpose of life. Most of ancient Greek philosophy focuses on how the world works, and the knowledge that we have which can lead to a virtuous life. As the Hellenistic era arises, Epicureanism and Stoicism are peers, a Greek philosophy soon to be adapted by the ancient Romans. Stoicism and Epicureanism were ancient Rome's philosophy, Stoicism being the main philosophy. Started by the Greeks, the Romans adapted and made Stoicism greater. These ancient Roman philosophers who adapted Stoicism were Epictetus, Cato, Seneca, Cicero, and Marcus Aurelius. Their goal was to achieve eudaimonia, living the best virtuous life through wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, focusing on what they have control over, accepting what they don't have in control. Although most philosophy originates in ancient Greece, ancient Rome is influenced and adapts their philosophy, making it greater and more purposeful, allowing ancient Rome to have a more influential philosophy than ancient Greece. Although ancient Greek civilization carried a great influence on Rome's literature, ancient Rome civilization was more advanced due to their philosophy that guided them, the evolution towards a fitting government, and the more advanced and useful architecture which assisted most of Rome.